Aberdeen, the Granite City. Situated around the rivers Dee and Don in the northeast, it is the third largest city in Scotland. It's mainly known for its magnificent granite architecture and for being the oil capital of Europe. In many of the city's bars and nightclubs, there's a blossoming DIY music scene encompassing many different genres of music. I spoke to local record label owners, an unsigned band, and the owner of a band practice space to find out more about an often overlooked facet of the Scottish music scene.
My name's Ewan Cameron. I run Black Lake Records in Aberdeen and I play in a few local bands as well. I first started playing an instrument when I was 9, started learning the drums, but I didn't play in a band until I was probably about 12 or 13, and then it was literally just some people I was at school with wanted to get a band together and they needed a drummer, so I offered my services, and then from there kind of caught the live bug. I actually had a record label when I was 15 that was called 7th Street Records, and they kind of did, I put out one CD and then I had to like study for exams and stuff, so that kind of fell by the wayside, and I guess I'd always sort of wanted to go back to that. I was still trying to work out a name, and I didn't have like a logo or anything, and a friend's band, Hexus from Denmark, they were looking for another label to help with a 7-inch that they were doing, and I just kind of offered my services, and their singer was like, oh okay, so what's the label called, and what's your logo and everything, can you send it to us? And I sort of was like, I think it's called Black Lake, I guess. It gives bands a means of releasing a record without having to have like one label funding everything. So generally speaking, what will happen is a band will pay for the recording, mixing and mastering themselves, and then either between, you know, anywhere between 1 and like 10 labels will then divide the cost of pressing to vinyl, and they just pay for their individual copies. So it's basically just a means of helping bands that I like have physical products to sell at shows and things like that. Now you need to have a very strong online presence with sort of have like an online store, have like a Bandcamp where people can listen to the releases, have some sort of, you know, like promotional things, stickers, badges, patches, whatever it may be, and then I guess additional merchandise to kind of help. Like I find that with sort of t-shirts and hats and things like that, the stuff that I've done in the past, it does help kind of, the money from that basically just goes into funding more records and more label-based content. I think possibly with the transition from CDs largely being replaced by sort of iTunes and downloads and things like that, I guess it kind of gradually became more of a, like you didn't really have anything to show for it. Like a lot of people would release an album and it would just be, you know, you click buy on iTunes and that's it kind of thing. So I guess especially in terms of like touring bands and things like that, it's much nicer to have something that you can actually like present at shows and sell and promote. It takes it back to having a physical product that's a good size. Like the artwork is obviously a big thing of it as well. You have like a whole 12 inches of artwork rather than just, you know, whatever size a CD is, like 5 by 5 or something. So far it's been great. Like I've met so many more like interesting people and been able to be in contact with a lot more bands. It's a good way of discovering new music. Like obviously if you have a label, people want you to hear their music. My record collection has grown an awful lot as well from like trading with other labels and destroying different bands and labels sort of output at shows and things like that. I think pitfall wise, other than financially, obviously it's quite an expensive thing to do and maintain. I think the only other thing is just learn, like I feel like it's a constant learning curve because everywhere is different. Like different countries cost different, like have different costs for pressing vinyl. Different plants charge different prices for A, B, and C, and prices are constantly changing. Royal Mail's prices are constantly changing, so you need to keep on top of like postage costs and things like that, as well as like running the online store. Like there's a lot of learning. I think there's a lot to keep on top of in that respect. I'm trying to push for it to be kind of like a sustainable sort of job for me to do. Like I'd like to make that my career, I guess. I like the music scene in Aberdeen quite a lot. People are starting to kind of mingle and sort of become friends within all of these communities rather than just being, oh well, I like indie, so I only go to the indie shows, or I like punk, so I only go to the punk shows. It now just becomes everyone is kind of just a bigger network of friends, and they kind of all support each other. Having a couple of pretty great, like Captain Tom's and Musical Vision, having those practice studios in town is definitely a big help. Because I know some cities that don't have anything like that, and so it's cool for that to be there. I do think that it's definitely coming on like leaps and bounds, and I hope it continues to do so.
Hello, Death Mask, welcome to our YouTube channel.
I'm Pete, I play guitar.
I'm Craig, I shout and I play bass in the back.
I'm Thomas, I play drums apparently.
I'm Tom and I play guitar and sing and write all the songs.
Fuck off.
Called angry quite a lot, quite an angry band.
You're quite angry.
I'm quite an angry man, apparently. Yeah, we're kind of punk, I guess. We used to sound kind of like Bruce Springsteen, kind of Titus and John, so we're kind of I don't know.
Slowly moving away from that.
Basically sent me out on Twitter just saying like, who wants to be in a band like this? I really like Titus and John, like this fucked up next band like that. Just keep time and replied, and then we had a jam, and then I think you replied to the post as well.
Mine was on Facebook.
Oh, you replied with Facebook?
On Facebook, yeah.
You said I could play bass, and then you've since renamed them that. You know, far prefer to play guitar.
Yeah.
A lot of really good bands. Considering the size of the place, there's a lot of good promoters, there's a lot of good bands. It's quite healthy at the moment. There's a wee dire patch, I think, in mid-noughties, I'd say, where it's kind of like not as good for a while.
No, I think it's quite healthy.
Yeah, it is quite good.
It's better than it's been for quite a while.
There's a lot of good promoters, like You Come Home, they're really good, man. They're brilliant. The enthusiasm with which they put on gigs. Including Jets, they've been able to. And Black Lake's a really good label. He puts on the odd gigs, but they're always really, really good.
I think Glasgow's got a good music scene.
Yeah.
Because like everyone, it seems
Glasgow's so great, there's so many great venues.
If you want to be like a musician or whatnot, you probably go to Glasgow. You probably end up there anyway because there's so much going on.
Definitely it's more difficult to be noticed in Aberdeen though.
Oh yeah,
difficult.
It's just a smaller city. Man. You can't really do much that's that much smaller. Yeah.
So what do you guys have coming up in the future?
We've got a tour with a band I don't think we can say anything about it yet, but they got a band like basically far more popular than we are, and like we should be going on tour with them. We're not good enough, they're just awesome, but like, you know, yeah, that'll be happening in January for like 5 days. Like I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'll be good fun.
Well, I'm known as Captain Tom. I run Captain Tom's recording studio in Aberdeen. We also run 5 Records up here. It's an independent record label, just releasing stuff from bands we like, largely from Aberdeen, from all over the world. We also do our own TV show called Live at Captain Tom's, which is a kind of cross between Wade and Jules Holland and Wayne's World. world. I think what we've learned the hard way over the years is that it's not all about gear and rooms and facilities. A lot of it's just about a space where people get to be themselves. And because Aberdeen is such a small isolated town, it's very easy for one studio of this size to end up being a hub for a lot of stuff. So we've just kind of embraced the opportunity to be that for the scene by having our own label and our own TV show, putting on a lot of gigs in town, you know. I actually think sort of pound for pound, human for human, per square mile, or however you calculate it out, towns in Scotland have some of the best music scenes in the entire world. You know, we all have these amazing little DIY scenes, Edinburgh, Glasgow, Dundee, Inverness, you know, they all have them. Although it does, yeah, it comes and goes in that sine wave pattern like everything in the music industry. That's the metaphor for all of it. I think it generally has actually gone up in most places. It's got a lot better. There are more and more facilities like Captain Tom's, there are more and more DIY labels, there are more and more independent labels. I actually think that in general, everywhere in the UK, the music scene's a lot stronger and better than it ever has been at a grassroots level. I never thought I would have to start a record label. And I did, I kind of did it because I just got so annoyed with other record labels and just thought, you know what, I can do this myself. So I just went down to the bank and went, go and give us £1,000 overdraft on another account and go start a record label. For whatever reason they said yes. You know, that was it. Every deal on Fat Hippie is individually tailored to the band. Because we work with bands at all sorts of different levels. You know, we have like the Jerry Jablonski band who are off touring in Europe sometimes 3-4 months a year and stuff. Most of the bands I've ended up working with over the years are ones that you develop a personal relationship with. You get the chance to meet and speak to, and you find out that you're on the same wavelength and stuff. Because when you're trying to get signed to an independent label, it's not like being signed to a big corporation. It's, you know, like Fat Hippie, which is basically just me and 1 or 2 other guys that help me out occasionally, but most of the time it's just me. So, you know, get on with me, you're probably not going to do very well on Fat Hippie, you know. And, you know, I'm not trying to say like you don't sign people you don't like, but you just sign people that you're on the same wavelength with. And that's really what you've got to do, I think, with independent labels, is find people that think about music the same way you do. And it'll be much easier to build a relationship with them. Once they feel comfortable with you, then they're going to want to release your band and work with you, because as much as it is about music and effort and energy, and you want to see people that are showing passion for it, making sacrifices in other parts of their life so they can actually pursue this dream, because, you know, you've got to give a lot to get anywhere nowadays, but above and beyond all of that, it's a personality thing, I think. So really it's trying to find labels that are releasing music similar to what you guys are, that are all be doing stuff with their bands that are at the level that you realistically think you can do, you know. Everything I've ever actually achieved in the music industry has been done by taking the equation that's there and twisting it a little bit to make it possible for me to do it. And I think a lot of the times in business, in creative industries, you will sometimes every week come up against problems which could completely end everything you're doing and make you have to stop and walk away. And if every time you come to one of them you think about walking away, you won't ever get anywhere. When you come against these unsolvable problems, you've got to just come up with ways around them, you know. It's just the thing that I most wish somebody had said to me at the start is, don't be scared of the fact that it's going to go wrong every day, because there are ways to fix it, and if you believe in it, you will.